Ik heb maar 2 uur geslapen zo ver. Want ze allemaal in convergeren, ze komen al in die nacht en allemaal. Today is one of our biggest days in Coon Carnival. Die hele Westkaap, allemaal is opgewind voor vandaag. Allemaal is opgewind voor vandaag. Het is een van die dagen wat je brekerige dag is, wat ze in Italië in wijst nou.
Carnival season begins with the New Year march before going into the competition phase. But it's not only a New Year celebration. Its roots go back to the emancipation of the slaves in 1834. Making up a majority of the city's working classes, their descendants formed social and sports clubs to strengthen their sense of identity and community. Known as klopse, those clubs were the building blocks of the minstrel troops of today. Shahid Boy Fisher is the leader of one of the most popular of the 70-odd troops marching today. He has been running the fabulous SEAWINDS entertainers for over 20 years.
I'm just enjoying my life. I don't want to work for a boss anymore. I did work all this as a pipe fitter and a boiler maker. Now I'm buying and selling stuff like clothing and crockery and buying wholesale and I sell it and that's what I'm doing. That money just go back in the coons. This is just a sport, you don't no money, just win like trophies, that's all you win.
We title holders from last year. So we have to put in extra so that, because there's teams that's now actually coming out to want to win us, because we're the title holders of last year. So we do our best, and at the end of the day, the best is always good, right?
Onze grote troep, ons al voor een paar jaar is onze grootste troep al. Allemaal in die hele Koenvetrend die wil net voor SEAWINDS bieden op je pad. Op je pad is die malste, op je pad is die meeste kinders. SEAWINDS, de 50 kinders die dus niet aan het regelaars, ja.
Though there is no prize for being the biggest troop, the boasting rights to such are considered a big thing. This year, however, the SEAWINDS are facing serious competition in this regard. There's a new troop forming in the Cape Winelands that threatens to be the biggest in the Carnival's 103-year history. The STARLITES Youth Development Troop is also aiming at having the most children in their ranks, an important factor in a community where keeping the youth off the streets and off drugs is the ever-present mantra.
This is the club people farm. All these children, you'll get up to 31. It goes over to 62. There's another 31, is 93 from this farm alone. 94.
Nazim Benjamin runs a bus service out of Paarl, some 60 kilometers outside Cape Town. The business was founded by his rags-to-riches father, HADJI Bucks Benjamin. Better known for owning the most successful choir in a subsect of Cape Carnival culture, the Malay choirs. This year, HADJI Bucks and his sons have decided to form a minstrels troupe to bring the culture to an area that has never seen it before.
We get into your cars, take a drive. How can I put it? You see the children, you look at the children, you go in, you speak to the farm owners, you speak to the parents. This is what we're doing, and so we get them interested. Last week, 106 came to join from
Santa Kralok.
For Santa Kralok. 106, within 10 minutes, joined up.
The main idea is to provide the underprivileged kids along their bus routes with an alternative to the prevalent cultures of gangsterism and substance abuse.
A lot of people is in school. I'm finished with school. No one. I'm just at home.
I got nothing to do, but now I'm doing this thing. We all like it because it's fun. The nice thing is we get a uniform. Not for money, but we get it from it.
These children are on their way to rehearsals at the Benjamin's bus depot, where everything has been laid on. Uniforms, transport, coaching and food. It's a big thing for these kids, many of whom have never left the area of their birth.
It's going to be a special moment for me to see where is the Cape, where is the places where I've not ever seen there. Where I hear about, I want to see them.
I like singing. I like Oma.
Oma, Oma, that's the one I coma. Oma, where I life and now.
MOENIER Adams is the comic singer for HADJI Bucks' Malay choir. He has been asked to come out to the winelands to coach these new recruits in the ways of the comic song, an integral part of Cape Carnival culture.
This is basically just preparing them to get into the whole vibe of coons because they never had coons here before. So this is their first time. So I'm just teaching them a few coon stuff. We're not going to sing in competition. It's just for them to have a bit of experience what the coons is like.
We were having supper one evening and my father said to us that we've got to thank God having a plate of warm food. There's a lot of people that they haven't got food on their table. Then we came up with the idea, why not open a coons and try and get the youth involved? Show them that this is a nice sport. We're trying to get people more involved in our culture.
You see the true colored blood coming out when they do this stuff. This expression of culture that came from our ancestors.
I would say 75 of these children haven't seen a coons because they live on a farm where there's no TV. All they see is their parents, whatever, on a weekend sitting, drinking. Now we want to change their mindset. We want to try and get their parents involved too.
The Cape Winelands have one of the world's highest rates of fetal alcohol syndrome. Alcohol and drug abuse shadow these kids' lives from birth. High unemployment rates combined with abject poverty add to this to give the youth very little prospect of bettering themselves.
To see a child of 6 years old smile, just to see the joy on these children's faces, get them away from the environment of drugs, alcohol. We are trying to show the youth there is a better way of enjoying yourself.
Back in Cape Town, the fact that HADJI Bucks has enough cash to build the biggest minstrels troupe in history doesn't overly worry his opponents.
No, I won't bet my HADJI. I wouldn't bet that. There's nothing that I can bet my HADJI because HADJI's only getting in this business now, in this game now.
And that's the only bad thing I can say about him because he doesn't know this game. He doesn't know it. This game, take this. You need to have this brains. A klopse brains, not a business-minded brain, a klopse brain to play this game.
It's something in your blood, something in your veins. If there's one vein out of you, then your function isn't right in your body. Now the klops is like that in your body.
We're not worried about size. Mr. Benjamin, he worries about size. Time for competition. Beware.
The parade through the city and upcoming days of competition may be the scheduled events on the calendar, but marching through their local communities is just as important to the members, as it brings music and colour to these often dilapidated areas. The minstrels provide hope to many who have little else to look forward to. With membership of a troupe comes a sense of pride and worth.
I was robbing people, smashing houses, smashing cars because I was a guy that don't understand what it is to communicate with people, how to speak out with people. I didn't have that skills. When you join the minstrels, it gives you the opportunity to mingle. And when you mingle with people that is positive, then you won't get involved with negative lifestyle. So I gained my positive lifestyle by being in the minstrels.
Traditionally, a member of the community will provide a tafel or table where the entire troupe will be fed in appreciation of the festival atmosphere they've created on the streets. Back in the Winelands, the Starlites are indeed bringing the culture to areas that have never seen it before.
Yeah, it's the first time that I've seen the clubs here. I saw the advert in the Paul Post. It just said that they want to gather all the children together and they want to make the community more stronger for the children's sake. You see, most of the children are doing tuck now, all the drugs, the drinking and the teenage pregnancies and everything. So it's good for them. And I like the theme that they say they want to keep the children for the whole year. They want to keep the children busy. It's quite nice of them to do that.
This is Chicago. This is like the gangster area and so on. It was the gangster area. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is Chicago changed. The community just said we had enough of this now. We don't want this anymore. Rather keep our children in schools. And I mean, this thing we are doing now for the community, this is a great thing. So basically, we want no more drugs, no more gangs, nothing.
These people are not used to these things. Every year they hear about it, they read about it, and they know about the coons. But the coons never come and give them a march pass as we did now. The music talk to them. Music is a sweet thing. Music brings people together. Music will stop violence. That's a magic. Music is magic.
To us, it's not about the trophies. We just want to show people that wherever you come from, we all can reach any goal we want to. Try to get them to love something. And from there, you take them to a different level.
Nazim Benjamin claims that winning is not his sole motivation, but the arrival of his family's 2,000-strong troop for the competition's opening day is nevertheless a provocation to the more established teams, especially the reigning champions.
Let me tell you something. HADJI can be 5,000, but a klopse Joe, they must jol, not walk. The SEAWINDS jol. We don't walk. So tell HADJI he must go play Malay choir. This is a klopse, this is not his game.
The klopse jol is judged on the vibe and energy displayed by the troop, how well they exude the carnival spirit. This is just one of the judging categories in which the SEAWINDS walked off with first prize last year. For a majority of the STARLITES members, however, this is their first time in Cape Town, let alone in competition. So inexperience and nerves are a factor. They are, however, taking everything in. They are about to learn that this culture is about a whole lot more than just parading. The troops compete in all of 18 different categories. The ultimate is to win the highest points trophy, which simply means that the troop with the highest combined score will be regarded as the champions for that year. One such item is Drum Major, where the contestant is judged on outfit, rhythm, stick work, and originality in their moves. Another is Best Board, which is often like a mini diorama depicting issues affecting the community, like HIV/AIDS and alcohol and drug abuse. Special mention is made of crystal meth, known locally as tick, which is destroying young lives at an alarming rate all over the Western Cape. The Soccer World Cup is also on everyone's minds, making this the predominant theme for 2010. The STARLITES follow suit, but take it one step further, adopting the World Cup as their theme in yet another competition category, the exhibition.
The youth are doing like a mini demonstration of opening of a World Cup. I'll have a little kid in front walking in that country's clothes, and behind that, the national flag of that country, and behind that, I'll have the whole soccer team of that country dressing their colors. And so I'll go to all these countries, like the World Cup opening.
Nazim's dream is that the STARLITES will be asked to participate in the World Cup opening ceremony. Boy Fisher of the SEAWINDS is rather cynical about his chances.
I'm not interested in the World Cup. I'm not interested because there's nothing in for our people in our communities. First of all, each player, each team coming in South Africa, they don't come to Nova Park, they don't come to Menenberg. They're going to Kukuletu, Khayelitsha, all that areas. That's why it's just apartheid, it just turn around.
Shahid is referring to visiting international soccer stars being directed to black rather than coloured areas. For much of its history, South Africa has been riven by racial prejudice and deep racial divisions. Black South Africans resented the coloured's relatively privileged status under apartheid, as well as their reluctance to support Nelson Mandela's African National Congress, which came to power in 1994. Today, many coloured will tell you that they're back where they started. Second-class citizens, albeit under a predominantly black government.
The way they are not in die lewe nie. Nou, they struggle om by te kom, maar they kry nie 'n kans in die lewe om daar te kom nie. Sy word teruggedruk. En die way dit teruggedruk word as niemand gee om vir jou nie, want hulle sien jou aan as 'n skoolie. Dat bring hulle down. En die down van daai bring crime. In crime bring 'n hele frustrasie by almal.
Dis hoekom die meeste van die mense wat colored is around the whole nation. Dis hoekom die almal van die jy kry meer colours as enige ander nasie.
Omdat ons nie raak gesien word. Ja, sê. Ons word nie gesien as ook 'n nasie wat 'n hulp en 'n bystand in die lewe het.
They're more interested in the black culture. They're not interested. Not that I'm racist. That we all are human beings, but they're just only into black people. They're not into our colours. Our colours not been seen nowhere.
In the singing part of the competition, the most desired trophy is the Afrikaans moppie or comic song, as it goes right to the very heart of the culture. Coaches are normally freelancers, the good ones being sought out by troops that can afford them. ADNAAN is one of the best.
One guy take my head off, Taman. So he is the best comic coach. I will keep him for my comic coach as long as he's live.
Running a minstrel troupe is an all-year affair. The planning for each season starts in February, with rehearsals commencing mid-year. In the comic song, having an accomplished artist out front is all important.
Since the beginning of me starting to sing comic, ADNAAN has been there. If you're sitting on a stadium or wherever you are and you're bored and then the comic is there, you're going to laugh at it because you're listening to the story that the guy's giving over and the actions that they're doing. There's a lot of energy in the comic.
Meanwhile, over at the STARLITES practice room, MOENIER Adams is previewing his comic song for HADJI Bucks's approval. Though MOENIER has been hugely successful in HADJI's Malay choir, a Klopse comic requires a different approach. He must be sure to observe this, otherwise the judging will not go well for him.
It's just off to my granny. She didn't know I'm coming, but she knows me like this. I'm singing in 2 hours and I need costumes. I'm looking for 3 overalls. I bet you if I can take you into any house here in this area or anywhere, and there's an oma in that house, she'll have an overall and an onderdoekie. I'll bet my car. The point is I'm going to have 4 breakdancing omas. That's going to be the funny part, so maybe the winning part. The omas, I think they're the funniest because they don't have much worries. They've lived already and they did everything, so now it's all about happy times and enjoying themselves. So they mostly the comics in the family. You see how funny my granny is? She laughs for everything. She even laughs for herself before she tells a joke. That's why they're funny.
Later in the day, comic singers gather at the stadium. Their moment of truth has arrived.
Yes, now I'm ready for action. Now HADJI must keep his mouth because it's competition time. There's no more goat mouths, he's the biggest one. There's no prize for him. This is the real thing.
Though his son Nazim doesn't seem obsessed with victory, the same cannot be said for HADJI Bucks himself. This is a man whose motto is, "There's no such thing as second place." Doing well in the comic means everything to him.
Starlites, are you in the house?
10,000 men, they can't even sing. Don't tell HADJI, I say, let him leave clubs, man. We're the best.
You practice for 7 months, but you're only getting 15 minutes to do a proper job. And if you don't do it right, that 7 months hard work is gone and forgotten.
ADNAAN reckoned that even though the crowd loved MOENIER's comic song, The judges felt that there was too much action and not enough singing.
Didn't expect that.
ADIE, however, walked off with first prize for the SEAWINDS. Though the SEAWINDS didn't win the Top Points trophy this year, you wouldn't have guessed it by the way they celebrated their runners-up status. But what about the Starlites' performance in the exhibition category, where they created their own mini World Cup ceremony? Even the dreaded second prize eluded them here. HADJI's son Nazim was particularly upset. He had been confident that the World Cup theme was a winner.
It was something that everybody that was there are still talking about. We had about 350 children with walking as soccer teams into the stadium. We had all the countries with their country's jerseys.
Nazim even had Starlites members dress up to play President Jacob Zuma, along with his bodyguards, multiple wives, teeming children and mistresses.
It was really a sight to see. And unfortunately, the adjudicators didn't like it. But what I can tell you, all these coons that was there all these years, they have feared. They have feared. Because here's a coons that are doing proper youth development. The way these newcomers perform, these children are hungry to do something with their lives.